We are here for Gracie Abrams. The album, brand new album, just came out. Good Riddance. Good Riddance is not what I say to Gracie Abrams music. I fully embrace one of my favorite artists in the game, doing it right now, Miss Gracie. When this project was announced, I was surprised. I did not expect it, and that's because one of my favorite projects ever made didn't come out that long ago. It really just hasn't been that long. By the way, I would like to say, I've said this before, I'd like to say it again. This is a full-length album. I know that Good Riddance is being said to be the debut album, as per Gracie's words herself. This is what it feels like is a full-length album. I will not have the slander on such an immaculate project top to bottom. Seriously, like truly, this has moved into probably one of my top 5 favorite albums ever, and that more than anything should kind of let you all know how excited I am that we have a full-length project once again right here in front of my face. Good Riddance. So I just kind of want to get right into it. I'm pretty anxious in a really good way. It's like Christmas morning for the full uncut version of my reaction to this album. Check out my Patreon, links in the description down below, and there's like so many other videos on there as well if you're interested in that and supporting. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. I will wait. I'm not going to start the reaction until you do that. Probably going to be a consequence from that joke. All right, let's do this thing. I've already heard 2 of the songs off the album, and I've reacted to 2 songs off the album. I made videos for both of them. They are somewhere pretty recently. It's Where Do We Go Now and Difficult. Both were singles, and we're gonna look at 10 tracks on the album for the first time as it just came out. Again, literally like a few minutes ago. First track is Best.
I was bored out of my mind, lost my whole appetite. When I could come to life, I didn't. You were there all the time. You're the worst of my crimes. I never was the best to you.
Oh wow.
I never was the best to you, but you still tried to stay while I'd self-isolate.
Oh, why is
and I knew, but I stayed hidden.
Wow, I was trying to self-isolate, and I knew you were trying to stay, but I stayed hidden. This avoidance is kind of this, I feel like we're in the world of Where Do We Go Now in this song. There's like lies 20 times a day. She couldn't live without those lies in this really fucked up way.
I destroyed every silver lining you had in your head. All of your feelings, I played with them. Go ahead, we can just call it conditioning.
So Gracie does a lot of this. She does a lot of these. She'll drop a lot of these lines in songs that are like KOs to the listener, like the knockout blow. I destroyed every silver lining here. Like, silver lining is something. It's someone that an optimist, someone that's looking for the bright side of something in a bad situation. And Gracie's clearly painting this as a bad situation, especially when you refer to something refer to having to search for a silver line. She destroyed it. She's almost taking account for like a level of abuse almost.
We were too different, you were so sensitive, gave me the best of that, I was so negligent. Now I bet you resent all of me, all of it, angry, blocking me over the internet. Promise I don't forget all of my fault in this.
When you get to the point of, I mean, she's negligent, they're sensitive. I love these specific words. It's so Gracie again. Even a song like this, which is pretty, it's not going in a lot of different places sonically. It's just kind of this da 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 and da na 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 na. It's just kind of in that same place, in the same feel, the whole song. But because Gracie is such a user of the dictionary, right, and honest is the key. Those two things combined. It's not just like words for the sake of words. You feel such a sincere honesty because there's so much vulnerability and like shedding a light on your personal situation like this. To say that, to come out and say like, yeah, I was negligent to a sensitive person. That's tough to come out and say. You just feel so connected to her as a listener because of that. But when you get to the point of blocking each other, I don't know if they both blocked each other or she blocked him or he blocked her, but when it comes to that, that's when you know it's unhealthy. You know, you couldn't just unfollow, right? Like you've gotten to, there's levels. There's like 3 levels. There's the, you just stay following each other, but whatever, you split. It is what it is. You move on. There's the, you unfollow each other as like, I don't want to see your name come up or anything like that. Then there's the block where there's some deep layered issues and what happened between us.
You're the worst of my crimes. You fell hard. I thought good riddance.
Oh, you fell hard. I thought good riddance. I feel like every Gracie Abrams song, especially this is like a really classic Gracie Abrams songs where I feel like it's just meant to be played by a fireplace in a cozy environment, even though like it's got some real negative connotations in the song, some real sad stuff going on in there. It's still just the sound of it has this coziness to it, which is incredibly like doesn't go together, but it does with Gracie. She's just really unique like that. All right, I know it won't work. Well, after they fell hard and you just said good riddance. Yeah, I think that's the writing's on the wall there. So let's listen to why she knew it wouldn't work. Let's get even deeper and more painful.
What if I won't? How am I supposed to put that gently down the road? You will love me until you resent me.
That's what it sounded like.
But it's a lot, all the shine of half a decade fading.
Oh, the shine of half a decade fading.
Seem to fall apart, it's complicated.
Exquisite way to describe the complication behind the ending of a long-term relationship. And it's so cool the way she writes, because she could just say 5 years, but she says half a decade. It's just like specific words used that really drag out the line in the right way. She's such a smart songwriter. You're still floating? You're still by the fireplace? And then she says no.
Part of me wants to walk away till you really listen. I hate to look at your face and know that we're feeling different. Why won't you try moving on for once? That might make it easy. I know we cut all the ties, but you're never really leaving.
Oh, it's unbelievable how relatable some of her writing is. And it's relatable because she gets so specific and into the nitty gritty of what's going on. So like so many of us have been there and are able to relate because she's actually depicting what actually happened. It's never vague with her. When it is vague, you can relate, but like in a less specific sense, it's when you can relate specifically, it's such a deeper feeling. And that's what happens with Gracie. It's describing a long-term relationship that is over, but you just keep falling right back into because one of the people in the relationship just keep coming back to it because it's like a comfort thing eventually. And it'd be so much easier if that one person that does keep coming back to it would just let it go and move on because they're kind of that person that does keep causing the reattachment. And yeah, and when you have Gracie who's pacing around, wondering like, what is the move? It's not gonna work. Like, and even part of Gracie is like, yeah, let's just make it work again too, because it's also on both sides. It's like just a sense of comfort, and her depiction of these real life relationships that happen again. It's just wildly relatable, man. Every time where do we go now? Best, the difficult. She just comes at you with stuff that you can feel.
Won't you stop holding out for me when I don't want it?
Stop holding out for me when I don't want it.
'Cause I'm your ghost right now. Your house is haunted.
Oh, I'm your ghost right now. Your house is haunted.
I hate to look at your face and know that we're feeling different. 'Cause part of me wants you back, but
I know it won't work. It's just the sense of comfort and familiarity. I mean, you just can't depict a long-term relationship that's not working out, and that hasn't worked out multiple times, clearly, but it's still in the middle of trying to work itself out because someone just won't let it go. I mean, and to an extent, she won't let it go either because the other person won't let it go. Yeah, it's just that fucked up combination of the familiar and not being able to leave that. You can't depict that any better. You just can't. And I love the build in that, man. Gracie's so good with the build and the song as it goes on and on and on, just adding new elements to it. Shout out to Aaron Dessner for producing. I think Aaron Dessner produced the whole album. So I'm probably going to make lots of Aaron Dessner shout outs during this. By the way, it just hit me on the spot now, but Tiny Habits is the group that is opening up for Gracie on tour, which is incredibly exciting because I did not know that when I interviewed Tiny Habits. A fun fact. And this was like last year at some point. But it's up on my channel somewhere. Beveraggi, Tiny Habits. It'll come right up. 3 really just great, wildly talented vocalists and humans. And I can't suggest checking them out enough in their work and their music and seeing them. If you see Gracie, get to see them, and they're great too. So yeah, if you're interested in that, check that interview. I'll get to know them a little bit. Cool that I got to sit down and have a chat with them and get to know them on camera. And it was their first interview as well. And they're opening up for Gracie Abrams. It's a small fucking world, man.
You're not guaranteed, but if you asked me to run away, I'd go easily. I almost lost it. I'll heal eventually, but faster if you're next to me, next to me. I'm codependent, but trying hard not to be. I'm better when you're next to me. Oh, you answer tonight and say something nice to me.
I'm a shameless caller. I don't have the lyrics because it just came out, but I'm a shameless caller. You're a full machine. Full machine. It's got something to do with phone, like almost like literally phone machine, but full machine. But you answered and gave her comfort when she needed it. She's codependent. It sounds like this is like, post breakup in the long term, and now she's found someone that she has a codependency on, which is like the opposite of what it's like. Funny how that works, right?
I'll heal eventually.
Oh yeah.
But faster if you're next to me, next to me. I'm codependent.
Aaron Dessner is such a fucking master, man. This feeling that you have listening to this it's just, I don't really know how to describe it outside of just saying Aaron Dessner is a master.
But I should probably stop instead of forcing a breakthrough.
Not gonna be an actual breakthrough.
Forest fire, you're the kerosene.
It's just adding more fuel to the fire.
I almost lost it. I'll heal eventually, but faster if you're next to me, next to me.
I know there's a lot of codependent humans out there that are feeling this song hard right now. I went through my codependency phase. So to be honest, this is hitting me not as hard as it would have I would say like 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I'd be in a ball in the corner right now, like cutting this camera off, like I can't handle this because this is crushed. This is coming from my soul right now. But you know, as years have gone on, I've kind of taken those experiences and the pain that comes with codependency. Because she said it herself, I'm a forest fire. That's what it feels like to be someone that's codependent like that. You feel helpless, you know, and it's really hard. So you have to do everything you can to just kind of, I mean, I did anyway, to get myself out of that place and get myself out of reacting that way emotionally, and just rely on myself a lot more, and protect myself a lot more, ultimately, more than anything, because being codependent comes down to not being able to protect yourself. You're kind of searching for an emotional protector in a way, and it's just really hard, and that was me for a long time. So I feel that a lot, and I'm kind of glad I'm listening to this now and not a few years ago, because I wouldn't have been able to take it. Gracie would have been coming from my fucking soul.
I'm codependent, but I'm trying hard not to be.
It's all you can do is try, man.
When you're next to me.
I love that barrel. I love that.
'Cause I've been trying to tell you.
That fucking folky guitar that Aaron filters back there, it's so fucking good. It takes the song to a whole different level, man. This song without that kind of production, I mean, this is kind of a dumb thing to say, but really, like, this song without that kind of production is just, it's okay. But when you add all of the sounds and feels that guitar gives it, and that you know, just everything Aaron does just makes it great. I Should Hate You, track 5. Acoustic slapper.
Last night I spiraled alone in the kitchen, making pretend that the furniture listened. Know that I should hate you. Know that I should hate you. Just drank something strong to try to forget, but it wasn't right. No, you're not even here, but you're doing my head in. Know that I should hate you.
If only it was that simple.
I should hate you. I feel stupid, like I almost crashed my car.
So Olivia, this switch up is so Olivia Rodrigo. And again, I just recently have gotten more into realizing just how inspired Olivia was and is by Gracie.
I would burn back to you if you left the door.
If you left the door open, no. She's down bad for this, man. She is down bad. More stunning instruments. Another song with just stunning instrumentals. Again, Gracie's down bad. I need to hear this song, and I pretty much decided halfway through, just because of, I guess, just the feel of the song. There's some things about the song specifically that this is one of those that I needed in the car. Let's go to Will You Cry, track 6.
Will you cry if I let go? Damage lined up, wreckage left behind us. How do we
Damage lined up, wreckage lined behind. Wait, what?
damage lined up, wreckage left behind us?
Damn, damage lined up, wreckage left behind us. Only Gracie could put that in a melody that makes it sound gorgeous, but like the lyrics of that are fucking devastating. It's just like the visuals. The damage is lined up, the wreckage is left behind us. Picture like a car crash and everything that's behind it, but there's almost like a symmetry to everything. Man, yeah, fucking Gracie Abrams, the songwriter of the Lifetime Achievement Oscars Awards, Nickelodeon Awards, whatever.
Now you walk through
I'm
me
what you're
with
for.
my heart heavy, breaking my reverie. I could die early with your arms round me. Habits go slowly, would it not kill to say goodbye?
Oh man, when she gives you no time to breathe and then she just throws 50 million bajillion lines in a row at you and all of them are so descriptive. She does that so often and I'm offended by it. Who's gonna absorb on one listen, who's gonna understand? There's so much in there and you're feeling everything emotionally line by line that by the sixth straight line you're so affected that you just forgot what happened 3 lines ago because all you feel is heart pains.
Now you walk through me with my heart heavy, breaking my reverie. I could die early with your arms around me. Habits go slowly. Would it not kill to say goodbye?
Does this person just not say goodbye? Would it not kill to say goodbye? Does they just not say goodbye?
When I scream, you're my echo.
When I scream, you're my echo, they just scream back. Is that what it is? Do they just scream back when they don't follow her? You know, she just feels like kind of alone in all of this. We're just not on the same page at all. You're just not the right person for her.
Cause now I stop myself from holding on to something that makes me feel a little less alive.
Oh, I have to stop myself from holding on to something that makes me feel less alive. She's such a great songwriter, man. What we need to do, I know the lyrics aren't here, and I know if you're like watching this on like Apple Music or whenever the lyrics do come up, you can see the lyrics. I recommend just writing that down. Take the time to write that down. Imagine we're writing that down together. I stop myself from holding on to something. This is not legible, but you get it. That makes me feel less alive. When you write it yourself and you actually sit there and look at what you just wrote and you translate that to your own brain emotionally and imagine that feeling, and I'm sure some of us have been there. First of all, there's like an amount of diligent effort it takes to have to stop yourself from doing that, and then you just think about the line like it makes me feel less alive. And why do you have to stop yourself? You shouldn't even have to stop yourself. It's just kind of be a reflex to stop yourself from doing things like that. You shouldn't be around anything that makes you feel less alive, but the fact that you are stopping yourself speaks to just being in a situation that isn't for you. It's extremely unhealthy. And again, Gracie just throwing these lines at me and hurting my brain and my heart.
When I scream, you're my echo.
Oh, that line is...
Will you cry if I let you don't move me? I see through you, you don't move me.
Damn.
I see through you.
Damn.
I don't follow, I don't want to.
And think about it too. If they don't move, you don't move me. Like emotionally, they don't move her. I see through you. Think of them as a ghost. Think of them as transparent. If they were to touch you, they would just go through you. So not only does she see through them, if they were to touch her, they would just go through them, like, because they can't move her. If they were trying to physically move her, they're a ghost, so they can't. And she sees through them because they're a ghost as well. It's almost like she doesn't have to say it. It's unspoken, but it's almost a double without her even trying to make it a double. That's when you know you're just elite with the pen.
I don't follow, I don't want to.
Oh.
You don't move me.
I don't want to.
See through you.
No, fucking done with your shit.
I don't want to.
You wouldn't even cry. It was probably like a master gaslighter right here we're talking about. Gaslighter king. She found herself in Andrew Tate. I'm sorry, girl.
Would it not kill to say goodbye?
Will it not kill to say goodbye? Literally just picture a couple that's just hanging out and the one person just, goes to the store, the gas station, gym, supermarket. It's easy to just say goodbye. It's easy, like, just say, like, it's the simple stuff, right? And when they talk, they get shallow. Like, she doesn't even like them. Who likes a shallow person that, like, they're talking, all you hear and see is shallow? You speaking, all I can hear and see is shallow. Who likes that? I don't know. Again, she stumbled across an Andrew Tate here. What was that other fuckhead YouTuber? Adam Ross, right? Another one who might have slipped into her DMs. I think that's his thing, like with Jenna Ortega. Just stay away, ladies. Just protect yourselves. And if you listen to Gracie, she's giving you some advice. Stay away from the ones that don't move you. The writing's on the wall in the beginning sometimes, but it's hard to see until you go through the situation and learn, and you got to get hurt, and then in the future you just stay away from the people that don't fucking have the decency to say goodbye. I think this is my favorite so far. I will say it is, with Gracie, it's tough because She tends to have a very similar sound in all her songs, but it was the same thing with, again, one of my top 5 favorite albums of all time. This Is What It Feels Like. It was the same thing with that, where I very specifically remember, like, I listened to it a couple times, and both times I left feeling like, I love this album. Every song has a similarity to it, and I can't quite discern one song from the next at this moment, but obviously, like, with time, it's music, right? Everything you need to have multiple listens, time, and over time, I can very specifically, like, discern, This Is What It Feels Like, Camden, it just all takes multiple listens, and it's gonna happen with this album. I'm gonna be listening to this album for the 10th time, and that's when I'll really be like, yeah, no, this fucking song is so different from this one for this reason and that reason, and we'll get there eventually. But right now I am going through the Gracie Abrams thing where there is quite some similarity sonically, but again, time will take me there. Amelie, which was released recently but I did not listen to it, is the next track. Matches Gracie's vibe.
I met a girl once. She sorta ripped me open. She doesn't even know it. She doesn't know my name. She asked me a million questions.
Did she ask you your name?
I answered, and by 11 memorized her face.
Damn, you talked for a long time.
Or were you all in a dream, Amelie, Amelie? I don't know.
I need to know so much more. Who's Amelie?
She cried about her obsessions. She doesn't know I'd let her ruin all my days. Where did you go?
Did Gracie just come out? I'd let her ruin all my days. That's what you say, right? Like, I would let her ruin me. That's what I would say to someone if I was, like, really just fucking down bad for them, like, in an almost, like, unhealthy way. Codependency, Gracie, you gotta move past that. Is that what that was? She just come out for Amelie?
Where did you go, Amelie, Amelie, Amelie? Where did you go? Tell me more. I would give all my time. All your words felt like a nursery rhyme.
That's lovely. Tell me more. I'd give you all my time. All your words felt like a nursery rhyme. Gracie's down bad for whoever this person is.
Amelie, 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 where do you go?
Her voice is so beautiful.
Or were you all in a dream, Amelie?
It's just Gracie's voice, all right? That natural crack where it sounds like she's gonna sort of just break any second. The can hardly get some of these words out. That's just like the characteristic of her voice that you hear pretty much like 75% of the time she sings. But I'll never get sick of it, man. I just want more of it. Turns that 75% to 100%. Her voice is just stunningly beautiful in this non-powerful way too. Gracie does not have a powerful voice, but the emotion behind it is so powerful, and something about that is even more powerful than regular belting power.
Oh, where did you go, Amelie, 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 where did you go?
Incredible, man. Gracie's gift to me, again, and I kind of said this already, but to me, Gracie's gift is being so specific and vivid in her songwriting, and by connection being so relatable, and vividly and specifically relatable. The song like this, I feel like all of us in our lives have had this experience where we've met someone, we've been in a situation where we're meeting someone for the first time, and we've talked to them, had a conversation with them of some sort, and we never saw them again, ever. And we spend so much time after that instance, however, whether it's a party or you're out and about, and the situation makes it so that you two are able to have a conversation, whatever it is. Like, there's so many situations. I say most of us have been there where after, you didn't exchange contact information, or for whatever reason, you just didn't. It is what it is. And you move on, and you probably both regret that. And you just move on, and you just can't stop thinking about that person and the conversation and, the kind of connection, whether it's platonic, romantic, what the fuck ever, on a friendship level. Like, we've all been there and felt that, and just spend so much time thinking about like, where's that person right now? Like what I would do to just be able to find that person. But it kills you because you probably will never see or speak to that person again. Not just probably, almost definitely. Especially because you just saw them randomly outside, right? Like if you ran into them at like a Barnes and Noble, what are you gonna go back to that Barnes and Noble and stand there like from open to close for the next 2 months? Some of us have thought about that though. I thought about that, like, I'm just gonna go back there and wait, and maybe I'll come across them again. No, I fucked up. I don't know where they went. I didn't get their number or whatever it is. This could have been a great friend to me, or romantic. It depends on the situation, your situation. That's so real. I feel that's so hard, and that's why she's so incredible as a songwriter, because like it's just so specifically relatable every time. That's such an instance that is real and happens, and it's almost like was it real? Was that just, did I dream that? Because you get so distanced from it having actually happened. And there's such a sadness to the fact that you will never see them again and you don't know where they are, that you start to wonder if it was a dream because there's so much distance from when it actually happened. Fucking Gracie Abrams, man. Okay, difficult. Heard it. We reacted to it. This is what the drugs are for, okay? Track 9. What? These acoustic guitars, man. This sounds like it's gonna break into that. So wake me up when it's all over, and I'm wiser and no. You guys know that song, right? It sounds like it's gonna bust into that song like any second now. All this time I was finding myself. Country artist Gracie.
Turn the lights off on the calm down. I still get emotional.
Like, calm down.
Hopefully the high works to change my mind. Now I feel you in my room.
Yeah.
Though I've tried, I can't pretend that I don't sit around and think about you. When all I ever do is think about you. I got caught inside a fever. I almost called 100 times just to ask if you might leave her.
Oh.
She appears in dreams, chasing after me.
Yeah, she should chase after you in your dreams. You're fucking you're fucking shut up. You're getting in the middle of stuff. Come on, Gracie. You're probably on the middle of my fever. Like, I assume, again, I'm on these drugs and I'm making these choices to reach out to this person. Because again, I'm codependent. It's a theme here. And when you will, and you don't have that person to depend on to sort of help you, middle out how you're feeling, come back down, you will rely on a substance, alcohol, drug. And I'm speaking as someone who has spent a lot of time in this emotional state in my past, and it's a real thing. So she's talking about drugs. I would totally just drink myself into almost oblivion, into a place where like I felt this fake sense of comfort because I needed a new codependency because that person wasn't around anymore. And then when you're in the middle of that fever, on the drugs or the alcohol, whatever it is you're on, you make bad choices, man. You reach out to these people, and now you're having dreams of their partner chasing after you, and that's a scary dream, honestly.
Though I've tried, I can't pretend that I don't sit around and think about you.
That's right.
All distractions don't work. I'm left to sit and think about you.
They don't work. The distractions don't work. Like, you have to find real healing. You have to find it within yourself. Like, it's really like a lot of self-love stuff when it comes down to. There's some other stuff too, but the distractions are just that. They're distractions. Like, your feelings still exist.
Always think about you.
Country, man. That song was so country, but again, bringing it back to that. I mean, Gracie's voice is in country, so it's not like full-on country. And again, wildly relatable and so honest, so deeply honest. She is not vague ever. Fault Line, track 10.
But a break to a cracking at the same time. Does it shock you when I'm down? I fall
This one's a little out of body.
All my imaginary friends are scared of you.
My imaginary friends? These are two people going through shit. These are two people that are struggling, that are both a fault line, and she breaks through, she cracks too. Like, they both have cracks in them.
When I'm down, I fall back into you. It happens. I know you're full line, but I break too.
I love the atmospheric feel of the instrumental here. She can make these, see, you have to, with the Gracie sometimes, especially on a track like this particularly, you have to appreciate some simplicity. And I certainly do, because behind that you still have Gracie lyrics coming at you. And there's a lot of simplicity in this track, but I still think it's gorgeous, just because it's got Gracie Abrams on it. It feels really atmospheric. I feel like I'm in a time lapse, and I'm sort of watching this, I'm in like this desert, but I'm watching like the stars, and we're lapsing through the day, and I see the sun, and I see the star.
I'll break too.
Having said that, this is not a great place to be, because I think now we have a double codependency. We have two people that both have cracks within themselves. There's no healing when that happens. You know, you just constantly both continuing to crack. That fault line just gets deeper and deeper within the two of you. When you have each other, there's, like, when you combine each other, and you just go back to each other when that fault line cracks further. She admits to the sort of unhealthiness in that companionship in that way, but it just is. It is what it is. It was happening. The Blue is the next track, and it's track 11.
You talk about your dad. He used to get so angry. He'd scare you and your brother till you felt you needed saving, and I'd let you in on all my bad decisions. You'd make them feel less terrible the second that you listen.
Comfort. He was comfort for her.
Doing to me now. I never could have seen you coming. I think you're everything I've wanted. You came out of the blue like that.
We can be our own worst enemy sometimes, and I feel like Gracie can often be her worst enemy. It sounds like she found someone that came out of nowhere, which oftentimes is like the best person. You know, when they do come out of nowhere, it's not calculated, you weren't looking for it. I feel like those two things particularly really just make it something that's such a fresh and great thing for you. But when you are your own worst enemy and you can find someone, you don't even find them, they just come out of the blue, that makes you feel less like your own worst enemy, you know, that just like offers a comfort, but like a real comfort. It's not just this fault, like it's not a fault line, it's not just both of you cracking, it's you do both crack, but you also are able to communicate with each other honestly, but also bring each other back down to earth when one is just, you know, over, like going over the edge in a wrong way. We applaud that. We are happy for you, girl.
You say we share a brain, apologizing for it, but take it as a compliment. You make me really nervous.
We share a brain, apologizing for, like, someone that self-apologizes and really shouldn't have to. It's kind of like someone that's been a victim a lot of the times that does self-apologize when they shouldn't have to. And this person that she's with sounds like they've suffered from some family abuse, this guy, so he would also be a self-apologist as well. And them sharing that brain, they're able to come into a healthy understanding of like, oh hey, we don't have to be this way, like we can actually become healthier and grow together from our past traumas. Wow, look at that.
What are you
Doing? So I mean, what's this? A healthy relationship? What? The drop down. That's fucking
Send me every song that keeps you up from sleeping. I bet I could recite them all. I won't forget the feeling. Staying up
when you find someone that y'all are sharing songs and y'all are like really invested in caring about the songs the other person sends you and y'all are reciting each other's songs, that's real right there. You found the fucking one, man.
Never felt this close to someone. What if you're my weakness? You came out of the blue like that.
It's a good weakness
Came
though.
out of the blue like that.
I really like that a lot. I like that. It's 5. I didn't even look at the time. It was 5. The next song is even longer. It was 5 minutes and it didn't feel that way at all. And that's just a shout out to great production, great song building. I really like that one a lot. Last track on the album, sadly, is Right Now. But it's like 2 tracks worth with the length. So at least we're blessed in that way.
And the light in the kitchen from the fridge on the floor.
Very Harry Styles, 2 Ghosts. Fridge light washes this room white. You know what would be a really good collab for her? Bon Iver. I actually require a Gracie Abrams Bon Iver collaboration. I don't think anything's ever made more sense in the world.
We're collectively hoping that the drive will be short. I'm so high but can't look down. Left my past life on the ground. I feel like myself right now.
It's like putting your past behind you, kind of separating into a new version of yourself. I'm gonna need the lyrics to this one after this.
This is somebody's hometown.
Not yours.
Never been here before.
Yeah.
And I ended a friendship on the day that I left.
That's part of growing up too, man.
Still makes me upset.
Of course, that's just human, Gracie. Of course that makes you upset.
By losing my family.
Wow.
Every minute I'm gone.
Anyone that like moves for the first time and has some serious life changes in, relationships, friendships, family as a result of that move, or just were a consequence of that move, or that were bound to happen, and the move kind of dictated it happening finally, like along with everything that comes with moving from home, like is gonna fucking get destroyed by this song again. Gracie comes to destroy once again.
I'm so high but can't look down.
She in the plane?
Left my past life on the ground.
I think she's in the plane because you're moving on, you're growing up.
I feel like myself right
You're growing up, you're becoming you. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional.
can't sit down.
Fuck, this is my favorite song. She's such a good songwriter.
Right.
Just the way she just perfectly captured growing up and the feeling of moving, and
I feel like myself right now.
how that makes you feel. Left things behind and it hurts, but you still have to do it. You gotta grow up. You gotta experience different things to become the ultimate version of yourself. How does she do this, man? How does she write these songs and perfectly encapsulate a feeling? And so many different feelings. I mean, it's all over this project. It's all over This Is What It Feels Like. She just writes these songs, and by the end of the song, you feel what she wrote, and in your core, you're like, oh, wow, I know what that is, and this hurts, and I feel this. Yeah, moving on and literally moving and becoming who you feel like you were always meant to become, because you're going through the experience of growing through moving. But it also hurts to leave things behind, like combining those two things and putting it in a song is hard to do, and she just did it perfectly. And again, all over this album, it's hard to do a lot of these types of songs and make them so vivid, but she did it again. And when I say she did it again, she did that thing again, because we have another project in Good Riddance that I think is wonderful, and I think is going to grow, because this is what happened with This Is What It Feels Like. I didn't leave This Is What It Feels Like thinking it was going to be top 5 in my own personal, discography of all time for what I like. I didn't think that. I liked it. I loved it. But I wasn't like top 5 for me all time. Fuck yeah. That happened over the course of time and multiple listens. And I feel like something like that is going to happen with this album. It's just the Gracie effect, man. Lyrics hit you harder and harder and harder, and the musicality of everything just hits you harder and harder, and these songs just become a part of you and your soul. And Gracie just fucking has a way of getting into your soul and staying there. This is somebody that is going to be around for a very long time, and is just someone that everyone needs to know about, because he's one of the most special songwriters in the entire world right now. So Gracie Abrams, thank you for this album. I really love this album. That last song is my favorite track. I really don't want to give my favorite tracks overall right now, guys. I know I usually do that at the end, but with Gracie, I learned from This Is What It Feels Like that I can't do that, because these are all going to just become significantly even more important to me as time passes. I've learned my lesson already with Gracie, so take what you will from the initial reaction, but also know that the Gracie effect is growing and growing and growing in the most profound ways on you. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys. Gracie Abrams, you fucking killed this again. You are a pen goddess. I gotta end this with a pen goddess. Thank you.